Hello everyone, greetings from PayTap's technical support team. In this series, you will learn how to integrate with PayTaps through our PT2 API's endpoints. And we will walk you through the first integration type, which is the PayTaps hosted payment page. For the purpose of this series, we have created a very simple Laravel project to walk you through the integration process. But feel free to follow the steps in this series with your own project, whatever the programming language or the frameworks used to integrate with PayTaps. So, let's get started. In this video, we are going to learn how we can enable the iframe mode, which will allow you to embed the payment page inside the checkout page without the need to redirect your customers to an external page or any outside payment page. So let's get started. The first thing you should know is that you can find the full documentation for this part inside PayTap support portal under the article called the Hosted Payment Page API's Integration Manual. Now, here what we are doing that we are initiating a normal payment. So we are going to navigate to step 3, initiate the payment, and over here we will have part 2, which is the payment. Now, PayTaps offers you a parameter that allows you to embed or return a redirect URL that you can embed inside your payment page. These parameters, or these couple of parameters, are called the framed parameters. So if we navigate it down here to our parameters, we will see that we have in the available optional parameters, have a parameter called framed, along with other parameters that we are going to learn more about. So let's learn how we can use this parameter. So let's navigate to the parameter over here and click on it. And here we will find the full solution article that will guide us through the parameter and all the associated parameters to it. So to start with, let's talk about the workflow or the behavior of the parameter or of the iframe mode. Normally what we used to do is, we used to send a request normally to our backend, and after that our backend will send a request to PayTaps, PayTaps will return a redirect URL, after that we will redirect our customers to this redirect URL. So this is a normal behavior or workflow. The new behavior or workflow that we want to learn more about and do it is the iframe workflow, which is instead of redirecting our customers outside of the checkout page, we want to keep them inside the checkout page and embed the payment page right in the checkout page. So how we can do that? Actually, we will send the same request that we used to send to our backend, but instead we will be using our front end to send this request to our backend, not PayTap's backend. We will send the request using any asynchronous sending request tool. After that, we will send the request to PayTaps from our backend containing, of course, the framed parameters that we will just test right now. After that, we will receive the same redirect URL that we can return to our front end over here and embed inside our checkout page. So let's see how this works. If we get back over here to the solution article, you will see that the first parameter you need to use is the framed. Normally, this is a Boolean parameter that you can use inside your request payload to say or to tell PayTaps that you will iframe or will use the iframe mode with this redirect URL. So if we get back to our code over here, get back to the request payload, you can see that I have passed this framed as true, along with the normal request payload, shipping detail, the customer details, and I of course have passed the hide shipping with true. So if we just test this out without adding any of the other parameters that we will just learn and we will learn more about in this video, if we just pass the framed parameter along of course with passing a normal return URL, let's see how this works. I will fill out my payment details over here, my customer details, sorry, and I will click on PayTaps and I'll proceed to payment. And as you can see here, the JavaScript is doing the work. I have embedded the page over here. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my test card to see how the return URL works. Now, fill out the expiration. Now, once I click pay, you can see that the normal behavior in this case will be that the return or the redirect URL for the return will be embedded inside my iframe. Now, let's say I don't want to do that. I want to finish my payment and get the customer to be redirected normally to my payment page. So this is comes, or this is where comes the next parameter, which is the framed return top. In this case, instead of returning your customer or embedding the return URL inside the checkout page, you will be doing the normal workflow. Your customer will be redirected to the return URL. So we can this parameter over here, get back to our code. I will fill out my conditions, and of course I will pass it as true. Now let's test this out one more time and see how it works. Reload my page. I'll fill out the customer details. I'll check that shipping is same as billing. I'll click on pay tabs. I'll proceed to payment. Check this out. Yes, I have my payment page. As you can see, I don't need to fill either my customer details or my shipping details. I will just use my test card over here. Month, year. And once I click pay, I want you to notice that I will be normally redirected to the return URL instead of being embedded the return URL inside the checkout page. And this is how we can use the next parameter, which is the framed return top. The same case goes for the framed return parent, which we will actually, instead of redirecting the page, will be reloading the parent of the iframe mode. And the next thing that we want to learn about, which is a very beautiful and a very powerful parameter, which is the framed message target. Now, this is not like the top or the parent. Here, it's not a boolean. It's not a boolean parameter. This is actually a parameter that takes a string as a URL or a URI. So let's see how this works. Let's say you want to stay in the same checkout page and you want to display a success or a fail message to the customer. So this is where comes the using of the framed message target parameter. We scroll down over here, the behavior of passing a valid HTTPS URI in the framed message target, you will see that what happening is, if we take a look at this photo, that we are providing an target URL or target URI, and then pay tabs will send a request, or the payment after then a request will be sent to your origin or your URI origin that you provided inside the request, as we will see right now. And then you can use this message according to the values that looking like here, like HBB done, for example. And this value you can then use to display any message. Let's see this in a real example. So if we get back over here to the parameter, now of course before I move from this place, you can click here and learn everything you need about this parameter and how it's work. But if we just try it out over here, click the parameter, back here, I will not frame top right now, I will just parameter. Of course, I must not use the return URL, I will just comment it. And for the message target URL, the value here will be the origin URI or the origin URL of this page that we are sending the request for. So what we are using, or what we are going to use to provide this URI to our request, we're going to use the constant variable over here called server, capital case, and it will be http underscore origin. Now, what's happening here that we are sending the origin or the URL that we are sending the request from. This is the meaning of this URL that we are using over here. Now, if we saved, of course, as I said, we must make sure that there is no return URL. We saved and we went back over here to our payment page. Let's try refresh and try again. I'll fill out my customer details. I choose pay tabs. yes, before we do that, I want to show you my JS code that I have performed to do this part. As you can see over here, it's also provided in the solution article. I will making my window to listen to a message over here, and I will check if this message data or the data inside this message is equal to HBB done. All of this is complied inside the solution articles. What I'm going to do is that I'm going to create a simple element. I'm going to get it. I'm going to add the classes alert and alert success to it, and I'm going to add an inner text successful payment. And after that, I will waiting for 2 seconds, and after that, redirecting my customer, or yes, redirecting my customer to the return URL. Normally, I just want to test how I can receive the message over here from the event, then print it out inside the checkout page like this. So get back over here, we choose pay tabs, we proceed to payment, payment details, test card, month, year, and once I click pay, the new difference will be that I received the message over here, and after 2 seconds, I'll be redirected to my return URL norm. Now, this is the usage of the parameter framed message target. Of course, if you want to learn more about, you can check out our solution article, framed message target. And the last thing I want to mention is regarding the UI or the theme of the payment page. If you want to make it more suitable to your business, actually PayTaps offers you a way of customizing the payment page UI. So as you can see over here, let's get back to our payment uh, and try out another payment to learn more about what we are doing and proceed to payment. Let's say I want to change this button to be the same color as my background. I want to change the background color of this payment page to be the same as my checkout page. I want to customize my payment page to have the same look and feel of my checkout page or my platform normally. So what I can do, actually, you can navigate over here to the solution article called how to customize. Okay, I want how to customize the payment page UI over here, and here you will learn everything you can do to customize the payment page UI. So by following the instruction inside the solution article, I will navigate to my merchant dashboard over here. Of course, log in first, and I will navigate to the developer section, themes. From themes, as you can see, currently I'm using the default theme, and I have created another theme for this tutorial. If I take a look at it over here, you'll see that I have changed the button, the pay button color, and I have changed the beige background color. So I'm going to get back over here and set this as the default theme. Permit. Now let's get back over here and try the payment again and see the difference. I'll choose sales, pay tabs, see to payment. And over here you'll see that the color has been changed to my background color, and the beige payment page color, or the background of the payment page color, has been changed to the background color of my checkout page. Now this is another powerful feature that you can use to empower the iframe mode inside your payment process. So this is all for the iframe mode. Now let's move to the next part.